need for this bookmark came from the May paper pumpkin called Hugs from Shelli. And I've kind of already used this one up quite a lot. There's still some things in it that I haven't completely utilized, but we'll kind of go over that a little bit more here in a bit. So for this project, you just need some Whisper White cardstock. You needed the Hugs from Shelli paper pumpkin, which is discontinued. It's a subscription thing. You order it ahead of time and then you get like a big surprise of what you end up with. So you needed that. I'm going to use this Early Espresso ink spot, which is having a hard time focusing. This is a retired color that we're going to use. It's called Tempting Turquoise, but the Pretty Peacock, it'll work as well. And then this one here that is my demo, it just uses those two colors, but I've run out of these pink flower die cuts. So we are going to actually make an alternative version of this card, or of this bookmark. And instead of the pink flowers, we're going to use little blue die cut flowers instead. And so instead of the blue ink for the birds and stuff, we're going to use Blushing Bride, which is going to be the exact same color as our string. See, they match perfectly. That's one of the great things about Stampin' Up! Is everything coordinates. And then we're also going to be using this little brownish string that came with the paper pumpkin as well. To make the fun edges on my bookmark, I went ahead and used my punch. There are other punches that would work even better than this, but this is what I have right now, so this is what we're going to use. We're going to use these little dauber sponges, and you'll see why here in just a minute. So this is a really fast project. It's really not hard at all. In fact, it only takes stamping 3 times, because I'm going to take my stamps and I'm going to put this all on my block at one time and stamp it all at once, and then this will be 1 stamp, 2 stamps. So I have here a size D stamp block. Hey mama, my mama just got on. And I'm going to take the stamps that came with my Hugs from Shelli paper pumpkin, which is going to be kind of difficult for you to see. They've got some really good ones on here. You'll see some of these in the future as I make other things, especially this really pretty little feather. It's so cute. I might go ahead and just stamp that for you just for fun, just so you can see it, because I love it so much. But we'll do that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card block, or here, let's get this down here so you guys can just see it. Excuse my mess. Okay, so I'm just going to take my stamp block. I'm going to take the word love, because it says love and hugs. I'm going to put it there. And I might actually have to use it this way. So love and hugs, and then we'll put our bird kind of there-ish, and so the whole thing fits perfectly. And then again, instead of using the Tempting Turquoise, we're going to use the Blushing Bride for this one. And don't forget, if you comment on this video, you do have a chance to win the projects that we're making. I'm making one for my Instagram followers. Oh, we almost made a boo-boo. I almost put the word hugs on upside down. So one of the really great things about these clear block sets is you can see through them. So if you're paying good attention, you will hopefully catch mistakes like that before they happen. Okay, so let's try this again. Putting my ink on. see, where did I put? Aha. Got my little chamois here. I'm going to clean up the edge of my block because I am really great about accidentally getting ink where it doesn't belong. So I'm just going to take that extra ink right off the edge there. And you literally just find where you want to stamp it and you stamp it right on, just like that. So there's one. We're going to make 2 of them. And I actually messed up. We're going to start over. We're going to do these 2 right here. Okay, so we're going to do 1 here. And 1 about here. Just like that. Couldn't be easier. We're going to clean off our stamp block. And then I'm just going to put these right back on my little sheet here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just going to stick them right back on their sheet. This is such a fast project. Then we're going to take the flowers and put them on our block. We're going to use the same color. And again, I always accidentally get ink where it doesn't belong. I think maybe I pushed too hard, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to wipe it off. We're going to do a flower in the corner. Get more ink. A flower in the corner. And then we're going to do another one. About here, I kind of turn it so that I get the leaf on there. So you can see that. All right, just like that. And then that's all the stamping that we're doing for the whole card. All right, so I am done with my stamps. I'm done with my stamp block. So I'm just going to make sure that I, close my ink up. Got a little bit on my fingers just then. Okay. It comes with a little cellophane, so you just put it right on top of that and it'll stick. That kind of protects your stamps. We're going to get out our little ink blotters, or sponges, I don't know exactly what they're called. And we're going to get out early espresso. So you're just going to load this up by dabbing it. You're going to start on the edge of your card here, of your scrap paper, and you're just going to kind of go off of it and then onto your project, and you're just going to go in little tight circles all the way down. And I really, really like this technique a lot, so we're going to do quite a few cards that use this tool. Daubers is what they're called. Thank you, Mom. They're called daubers. And daubers are so fantastic and so fun. They're probably one of my very favorite things that Stampin' Up! Sells because the effects that you can make with them are just really, really fun. So we're just kind of going for that rustic-y, antique look. But you can get it a little thicker here at the top. And there's no right or wrong on this. You can make them as dark or as light as you want. You can go in as far as you want. There's really no right or wrong. And the variation in the light and the dark is what makes it look so pretty. It's almost like a tea stain. Okay, so I think that one looks good. There's kind of a obvious circle here, so I'm going to kind of work that just a little bit and make it a little less of a circle. There we go. It's almost like blending eyeliner if you like your makeup. Or not eyeliner, but eyeshadow. There we go. So that no more circle, which makes me happy. And then we're going to get our second one. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to really get our edges. Hey, babe. My husband just joined. He's going to watch how I do these awesome little cards. Okay. And then we just keep going. And it's okay that you're covering up the flowers because they look rustic and stained, and I like it a lot. Almost like it came out of a old newspaper or something. Very pretty. Okay, and then again we're going to do a thicker layer here so that it comes down because this is the top of your bookmark. Okay. I'm going to do just a tiny bit more. Have it come in a little bit more. All right, I think that looks good on that one. So then I'm going to use the same dauber. I'm going to go on my scrap paper and just kind of rub it out until it's clean. Just like that. And then I'm going to leave out my espresso because I'm not entirely done with it. I'm mostly done with it. Hey, if you're here, make sure that you say hi because everybody who comments gets a chance to win one of these bookmarks. So this is the Tranquil Turquoise. Again, this one's expired, but Pretty Peacock is a close second to it. So the edge of my dauber here, I'm going to run that through the blue turquoise. And I'll show you on this one what we're going to do. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can see there's just a little bit of blue. It almost looks like a watermark. It's easier to see in the preview picture that I showed you earlier. So we're going to take the edge of our dauber, it's got our blue, and we're not going to go in circles this time, we're just going to kind of make a nice little streak. That way we don't smear it, and it almost looks like a happy accident. So you're just going to kind of follow the edge of the line that you created with that blue. Get a little bit more. And you don't want it to look super intentional, you don't want it to look perfect, you just kind of want it to look like maybe it blurred out of the brown. We're going to do it on the other side. I just kind of follow the edge of that brown. Okay, I'm really liking the way it's looking on this one. I think I'm not even going to bother trying to touch it up on this one, but on this one we're going to touch it up just a little bit. Actually, we might touch this one up just a tiny bit too. So again, I'm just rubbing out the color until it comes clean. I'm done with my turquoise. I'm going to go back to my espresso. And I'm going to really kind of rub that color out good so that I can come in and blend the edges of that blue into this brown. Again, just to kind of make it look a little bit more natural, like it was just a happy accident. Like it just kind of bled through the ink all on its own. There we go. You can kind of see that there. Eventually I will have a much better light and you'll be able to see things a lot better. You can kind of see that. And then we're going to do the same on this side. I kind of like how it started off, but right here I feel like maybe I got a little heavy-handed with my blue, so we're going to just kind of smudge it out a bit. And then I kind of want to just bring that brown a little down. And that's pretty much it. We are done with the inks. We're done with all the colors. I told you this was a really fast little project. Okay, so if you have a tag punch, I recommend just using that. To use a punch, you just take your punch, you put it in as far as you need to, and then you would just push down on it. But I don't have a tag punch yet. It is on my wish list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a way to kind of get some fancy edges in a different way. So let's see if you can even see. I'm just going to barely come up the bottom, and I'm going to slowly line it up and just snip, and then that creates that fun little edge. I'm going to do it on the other side. I'm trying to do it kind of slow just so I don't mess it up. All right, and then we're going to do the same on this. There we go. It creates this fun little bottom of our bookmark. And then for the top, we're going to do the same thing, except this time I'm going to put it at the tip of the petals. Let's see, I'm going to actually do the front petal. It's easier. You'll see we're just kind of squaring it off like that. Squaring it off. And so then you have the top of your bookmark. Yeah, it's all about utilizing what you have. All of Stampin' Up's purchases are very versatile. Just because you don't have something doesn't mean you can't be creative and see what you can create. So then I have this little, I don't remember what it's called, but it's for your dimensionals and for your little glue dots. It's to help you place them where they need to be. But what I'm going to use it for, I'm going to remove the top here, and I'm going to stack my bookmarks together because I can do them both at the same time. And I'm going to take it about halfway through my brown, and I'm just going to wiggle it. Make sure to avoid your finger all the way through, and it's going to pierce a nice hole for me all the way through. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do it on the other side and kind of use this edge here as a way to flatten out that paper. So now I've got two holes for my bookmarks. So that's really easy. And then just make sure I put my things away as I go so I don't lose them, because if you know me at all in real life, you know I'm fantastic at losing things. All right, so we're almost ready for these. So I'll get them out. But first we're going to get our string out. So I don't have an actual measurement for this. I just kind of decide how long I want it to be. That's too long. Let's see. Grab it by the edge. I want it to be about that long, so I'm going to add just a tiny bit more to make room for my knot. Flip it on top of itself. That'll be enough length for one there. See, I have scissors. Ah, here they are. I actually have pretty Stampin' Up scissors, but I've misplaced them, so today we're just using this one. So there's for one. I'm going to eyeball it using this for my second one. So we're just gonna kind of cheat, go down and around. Again, these don't have to be perfect. They're not being like, they're not a set or anything. They're gonna go to separate people, so they don't have to be exactly uniform. So now we've got 2. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to feed it right through my hole, one at a time. A little bit more. Ah. Okay, and then we're just gonna tie a knot at the top. Again, if you need to, you can actually use your tool, because I just wrapped it around my finger like this, like you would for a knot. You can place that on top, and you can kind of use that to guide them through if you need to for your knot. It makes it easier. Okay, and then once you've got it, you just kind of work it down. Pull each of your little threads individually. That's pretty much all there is to that. And then I like to go back and whatever my shortest string is, I go ahead and I cut it there so that they'll all match. So there's that. We are almost done with this. Okay, and why fight it? I'm just going to go ahead and use the little tool from the beginning. Makes it so much easier. You just shove it right through, just like that, and boom. Okay. Can kind of line up our string. And I think when I explain the paper pumpkin, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this live stream off. That way, if you make it in here by tomorrow sometime, because I'm doing this pretty late, you still have a chance to win the bookmark. But if you haven't commented tomorrow by 2 p.m. Mountain Time, then you will no longer be able to win a bookmark because I need to get them off in the mail. Okay, and then we just straighten all of our strings out. And we snip the tops. All right, one last thing and then we're completely done. And then I'll go ahead and I'll shut this one off and I will come back here in a little bit to do our paper pumpkin. So all you're going to do is you're just going to place your dimensionals here. They look just like this. One on each side. Pull off the backing. And we put one on each side. And that's it. Our bookmarks are completely finished. So you'll have to decide if you like the pink or the blue best. Just let me know. And whoever wins gets to choose. All right, I'll see you guys later. Good night.